This is your Weather Extreme video for Sunday, July the 5th. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters, and certainly an active July 4th. Hope you got in your fireworks. I think the showers and thunderstorms may have disrupted a few of them. And a quick peek at the radar this morning shows that the bulk of the rain and showers and thunderstorms are over the south part of Alabama. A little bit stormy at the beach this day, but I think we'll settle back into more of a daily scattered shower activity for the week ahead if you're headed for the beach. Skycam from Fultondale showing that we do have cloudy skies across the area, but I expect us to break up, the clouds to break up somewhat, and we should see some sunshine by the afternoon. The culprit for the surface map is our stationary front that is lying across the Ohio and Tennessee River valleys, and that boundary sagged a little further to the south yesterday, fortunately, so that the showers are not coming over the same area they were yesterday morning, causing all the flash flood problems. And in the upper atmosphere, we have this closed low over middle Tennessee that is gradually moving off to the northeast, and that will be absorbed up into the westerlies and be moving away from us and causing our pattern to get a little more back to what you might consider more summertime-ish. Temperatures across the area this morning generally around the 70-degree mark. All those temperatures helped out by the rain that we had yesterday. Had a couple of bouts of rain, one in the morning that caused some pretty good flash flooding across parts of central Alabama. And then this morning we do have showers across the south part of the area that are moving eastward. And the flash flood watches are gradually expiring across Alabama, but we continue to see flash flood watches just ahead of that upper low, where we expect to see precipitation amounts on the order of probably 2 inches over parts of the central Appalachians. And ahead of the cold front that will be dropping down into the Ohio River Valley, we expect to see a fairly good rain for the Central Plains states. Storm Prediction Center is not outlooking any slight risk area for the southeastern U.S., but we do have a marginal risk along that boundary that is moving across the south part of Alabama. And then we have an enhanced risk located primarily on South Dakota for day 1. And for day 2, the SPC has dropped it back to just a marginal risk ahead of that front. And if you're watching the tropics and keeping up with the tropics, things are rather quiet still in the Atlantic Basin, where we see that we still have a good deal of that dry Saharan air. All right, let's take a look at the GFS modeling run this morning from the 06C GFS model run. And there's our upper air low that is opening up and becoming absorbed into the flow. The westerly flow, and that will see the showers once again generally more numerous across the southern part of our area. And if you notice for us across the northern part of the state of Alabama, we see that the precipitable water values are down just a little bit, so I think the showers will be a little more numerous across the south part of the area. For Monday, that little upper low moves up into the mid-Atlantic states and takes the bulk of the precipitation with it, but we still leave the moist air mass in place. And so when we look at precipitable water, you see the values are still relatively high, not terribly high, but certainly up there to allow for scattered showers in the forecast. Tuesday, the pattern becomes a little more influenced by the ridge to our east as the Bermuda High moves in, and we see that ridge building up a little bit on Wednesday. So look for heat values to come up just a little bit as we get back to temperatures more typical of this time of year in the lower 90s. By Thursday, the ridge is building up across the southeastern U.S. in response to this trough dropping into California on the west coast. And we see that ridge building up again on Friday. So as we head into the latter part of the week, again, I think we'll see highs climbing once again back into the lower 90s, 91 to 95 range primarily. But because the front washes out to our north, we're not seeing any kind of air mass change. The ridge becomes the prevailing feature that we see on the upper air pattern for Saturday. And so once again, it looks like next weekend will be somewhat isolated showers. And by Sunday, a week from today, we see that that ridge is moved off to the west of Alabama, and so once again we stay in a pattern that will have isolated to scattered showers and thunderstorms. And looking out into voodoo country, one of the nice things that we've seen here for the start of July has been that the ridge kind of comes and goes, so it builds and decays. And it looks like the GFS is promising that pattern staying with us with the troughiness on the eastern part of the country. And that's good because that keeps the heat at bay. So we see no signs of any extreme heat as we look out. That's the 14th of July. And then when we get out to the 19th of July, we see that the troughiness is still over the eastern half of the country. Therefore, once again, the extreme heat is being kept off to our west. That'll do it for the Weather Xtreme video for this morning. James Spann should have the next edition first thing on Monday morning. In the meantime, stay tuned to the blog for updates on Alabama's weather. I'm meteorologist Brian Peters. Have a great Sunday and Godspeed.